take breaks to
That's fine.
to drink every now and then, but other than that, I don't think I'm gonna pause at all. Just so we can stay on the same page.
Son, the first 10 minutes are pretty boring.
Okay, that's fine. Alright, I'm gonna count down from 3, and then on go, like, I have to clarify this, because whenever I do a countdown with my friends, it's always like,
Yeah, some people think one
I
is
did it on
go,
one,
and
yeah,
some people
exactly.
It's like rock, paper, scissors. Some people think it's rock, paper, scissors, and you throw on scissors, and some people throw on shoot.
That shit bothers me. But we'll do it on go, so like 3, 2, 1, go, and then right on the word go.
Alright.
Alright. 3, 2, 1, go. I'm gonna watch just your perspective as well. I don't really care about anyone else.
Alright, we try to
They
get the
definitely
first
see us
blood,
smoke.
but they...
Yeah, that's fine. Usual Battle Cup strat.
My friend does it literally every game. Even if we have the worst level 1 team comp.
Can you steal with the bear? Ooh, fortunately not. Okay.
It's hard to click with the bear. Like, I did a game earlier,
Yeah.
Blown Druid safe lane, and it's like, harder to click with it. Like, I can outclick almost any bad player with my hero, but with the bear it feels like it's harder.
Hmm. So,
It's easy to get like the 5 and 10 minute moves with it though.
yeah. Just as, if you have a usual stack, I'd say my comment is, you should probably swap Dazzle with Jakiro. I think Jakiro just deals a little bit better. Might deal a little bit better with Undying. And Dazzle, like Dazzle's whole poison touch shtick won't really be too effective in that lane.
Yeah, we were mostly trying to like sync up like the roles with the lanes, but yeah, I get what you're saying.
Yeah. Like, you don't have to... Even if he's playing 4 Jakiro, like, you can still send him bottom. Like, I know it's sort of traditional that the 1 and 5 go safe lane, but... also, just from the draft, you guys definitely are lacking, like, hard lockdown. And that's... I'm assuming why they get away with, like, this AM pick. So before I even watch this, I'm assuming the sniper makes space in the mid game by existing, and then AM farms up, and it just kind of snowballs from there.
I mean, it's more that the sniper is the hard carry and AM's just kind of there. Like, the AM
Yeah.
this game is like no threat the entire game.
Okay.
It's literally just like Tombstone, Wisp, plus we can't get the sniper.
Yeah. No, yeah, that's... Lone Druid's not too strong, so if he's strong on Druid, then that's great, but...
Like, he kind of has to pick his battles on Druid, because like, he attacks really fast, so he can hit the Tomb and he can hit the Wisp, but he also is the main damage dealer.
Yeah.
Like, I was yelling at my supports the whole game, just hit the friggin' Wisp, or just hit the friggin' Tomb. Obviously it's easier said than done, but like, we just can't win fights.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, it's like, if we can't win fights, then how do we play it out?
Yeah.
As AM pretty much gets nothing from laning.
Yeah, I don't think... Your laning seems fine. Your Jakiro's kinda...
And he's, like, he just uses an Ana for some reason, I don't know. Like,
Hey,
I
casting
really like my
spells is fine.
supports
He
to
just
side
is...
pull.
He's making a lot of bad trades where he, like, casts a spell on someone and then takes, like, a shitload of damage. Using up all your mana is totally fine. If you use up all your regen early, you know, that's value later in the lane for you. I'm saying if they use the regen, like, you have an easier time, and they have to fairy regen, which helps out your mid, because they either fairy regen top or they don't, and then you have an easy time. His harassing is fine, it's just he's taking some bad trades.
Like,
Yeah,
his side
especially on
shot at
Underlord.
340, which is really nice.
Yeah, you're having actually a great lane on Underlord, especially because you don't. I don't think you want to play too aggressive for the first few levels. That's just how I play Underlord
Yeah.
generally.
Like, Southport is like, oh, get a Soul Ring, get a Soul Ring. It's like, you don't have a lot of
Yeah.
mana issues on Underlord if you're not, like, spamming every wave. Like, here I can
Right.
spam out a little bit. That's more...
I'd say just get a Soul Ring because you're up against an AM.
Yeah. I mean, if I was, like, if it was a more contested lane, I think I would definitely get a Soul Ring.
Yeah. Yeah, you're 2 levels up on their AM right now.
I'm
That's
actually
really
super pissed that we lost this game with how good my lane is going.
Yeah, no. I generally get Soul Ring on Underlord just because it's never really a bad thing. People haven't been buying it too much lately with the whole like bracer thing lately though.
I feel like most games, I don't run out of mana before I can use the Arc Boots.
Well. 5-minute Arcane Boots, very nice. This is a solid lane. Yeah, the AM's too weak to really... You're definitely out CSing him at this point. I don't even have to check the stats on that, but...
Yeah, like we had just gotten done playing a stack that had like a good AM player, but everybody else was garbage.
The only problem with Underlord is that you'll kind of naturally push the wave for him.
Yeah, that's why I always like to support the side pull when I do this.
Yeah. And if he does, then, you know, you go for it. You just apply pressure as much as you want. But...
I try not to
You
get
know.
too many creeps under his tower. At least without a firestorm in his face.
Yeah. I mean, you said the AM isn't really a problem this game, but I can definitely see. This is how it happens in my games usually, where it's like, oh, we won the offlane, so we'll just shove every wave and let him farm under tower, and then he comes away like even.
Yeah, like the AM in the previous game, I played like Sven Lich against AM Silencer, and it was not a good lane for a while. I think that game was more just me out not playing that well though. Like that's a Sven, he has a hard disable, he can come back. Like I know what I did wrong that game for the most part. Just that this game it's kind of a bit. So I get the Ring of Regen out because I'm going Hood early on.
Yeah, you're having a great lane actually. They can't touch you at all.
Yeah, this is like a tier 5 battle cup, so
Yeah. Nice, easy Underlord game.
yeah, it's like super chill for a while, and I'm like, oh, this is just gonna be an easy win. Like this AM has literally nothing. Mid isn't getting stomped.
Yeah.
Jakiro goes a bit too far in.
Yeah, it's kind of. At least neither of you die, but. That's pretty good.
That's not an ideal pit reveal though. Like I always get the pit at 6, and then like if that AM is kinda low, he can't blink out of it.
Right. That was a decent trade though.
At this point, I'm just too strong, so just try to push out top.
You don't have enough strength to bully you out of lane, so you can pretty much do whatever you want. At this point, I just sit in lane until its tower is gone. Because you can just cut creep waves, and I think not really give a shit.
Yeah, like they're ginking mid and we're kinda ginking mid, so...
Yeah. Right now, you can... What I would do is you can just sit behind the tower, and it forces AM to either last hit under the tower, or like hit you. And if he hits you, your creeps hit tower, and he's not getting last hits. Or...
I think if my Jakiro was near, I'd just try to sit, but...
Right.
Like a +1 Underlord TP always kind of makes me feel weird about that.
I mean, right. What you did when you walked like under the tower back to your creep wave, like he sort of, like both those options can't have. You know what I mean?
You have 9 minutes,
Like-
sir.
The situation I sort of portrayed of you cutting the wave and he has to choose, like he doesn't have to make a choice anymore. It just kind of sits there and denies tower damage and gets last hits. And if he
Probably
harasses
should've-
you, that's like less firestorms that you can spam.
Yeah, I probably should have tried to put more pressure on him. But like I said, I wasn't really too impressed with the AM in general.
Yeah.
So at this point for item choices, I'm thinking, okay, they have Coddle AA. I should probably just finish the fight.
Yeah. Should really just... There you go. Like, this is a great position right now, because you see where he is and where you are. Like, he can't... If he blinks to you, then you can just Firestorm. Whatever.
레디언트의 중국 포탑이 공격받고 있습니다.
And if he doesn't, you can just keep cutting the wave, and he's... has to... Like, this is pretty optimal. Like, you're getting as much resource out of the lane as possible, and you're applying pressure on their lane and their tower.
Yeah, like maybe I could
So
drag
he has
one
to
of these
stay there.
waves to a smaller medium camp and just Firestorm all of it, but
Yeah.
like I see a lot of good offlaners do that if they're on like an Axe hero or something similar.
Right. Right there, you kind of mix up your targets, I think. I think if you commit the Firestorm on the Coddle and then reroute him, you probably could have killed him. Or at least done a shitload of damage, but...
It's just rough relying on like the level 1 kit to be anything but like an interrupt.
공격받고 있습니다.
Yeah.
아이어의 구조물이 강화되었습니다.
Usually
yeah.
things get a bit dicey because like
아이어의 상부 포탑이 공격받고 있습니다.
got 4 heroes here. My Dazzle's trying to kill an AA.
Yeah.
Got level 1 Ice Path. Neither of my supports really hit the tomb at all.
아이어의 중국 포탑이
I'd say
공격받고 있습니다.
it was... I probably would have pushed there. I'd say maybe... When you know there's 3 heroes there,
공격받고 있습니다.
it's probably not super smart to like sit under a tower with that many heroes around, excuse me. Because yeah, they just get 1 TP rotation and then you guys just sort of caught. Your Dazzle positioning was pretty bad, but
아이어의
you know.
상부 포탑이
that's also sort of something that probably could have gone either way. Like I can see that fight playing out where you guys turn. If you firestormed, where they all had to come in and then drop the root down and fought inside that, and your Dazzle position a little bit better with Poison Touch, like you would have done so much damage to all of them. This is a good rotation.
아이어의 중국 포탑이
Thankfully,
Nonchalant
we
as well.
Like we have our support pretty late on that rotation.
So right now, this is like your team's power spike, just in general. And you should run around as like 5 and just push towers with Lone Druid and Jakiro.
There's no way he should be able to get away with like this 2 points in Tombstone build without us just killing it every fight.
Yeah, no, that's actually a pretty absurd combo. The Tombstone plus Will-O-Wisp, you have to hit both.
중국 포탑이 공격받고 있습니다.
Yeah, that was a bad death on me, but like we get the coddle kill in
레디언트의 하부 포탑이
return.
공격받고 있습니다.
Somehow
Yeah.
we get sick coddle.
Your team should be pushing mid right now, and if your joke's not gonna push mid, he should be farming bottom.
I got a very questionable farm player in this game. But at the same time, I can't just be like, oh, Jug didn't farm, so we lost the game. Mentality.
I'd say you should teleport bottom there and just siege the tower.
I'm not really sure why I went top here. I don't know if it was just to like contest the AM and make sure he wasn't farming or what.
Yeah, no, it's fine. You deep push the lane, which is good for its tower damage, but it also
I should probably be fighting though, because I have
you're
Pipe
you're
super strong.
so strong. You have pipe up at 15 minutes. Like right now, this is a great chance to push this 2-2. You see tons of heroes bottom. If you're not gonna push that, then you should push here. And this is also mostly the reason I'm so aggressive on you should push lanes is because you have a lone druid on your team. And that's Lone Druid's whole thing, is just like push and get a significant advantage within the first 20 minutes, just lose.
Like right here, the fight starts off decently. Like we get the Undying kill. And we just can't gap close though. Plus, we only have 3 heroes. Like, they're rotating more heroes to fights than we are. The Jug comes eventually, but
No, this is a great fight so far.
like I feel like if
Sniper
Jug's
and
that
Undying
far
are
away
up.
from a fight,
다이어의 하부 포탑이
he needs to like
공격받고
either farm or
No, your Jug's positioning is real weird right now. Like, you should either be fighting with you guys or pushing bottom.
it's
That's
like it's better to not be in a fight than to be too late to a fight. I think, like way too late.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. If you're not in the fight, you can go farm or do something.
Not like a
Do something
big
productive.
position 1 player. So I always fight anyways. So.
Position 1 is generally just all about never
Oh, he's like
having
a-
downtime.
He's like a 2 this game, or 2 is more of a 1.
Yeah. That shouldn't really be the case though. Like, you guys,
I mean, we don't
Lone
really
Druid,
have a good
Undying.
carry player, so
yeah.
our mid
I'm just
player
saying,
was
you know, it's a Lone Druid draft, and so you have Lone Druid, Undying, or excuse me, Undying, Underlord. Underlord had a great lane. Like, run around, push towers. Jug gets tower gold, and if you force team fights, that's fantastic. That's what you want. I think.
Yeah, they just have
Because
to
they're-
bottom and collapse
Yeah.
at this point.
Like, they're gonna have to fight 4v5 if you just run around and deathball right now, because AM doesn't want to fight.
레디언트의 하부 포탑이
And they do have a pretty strong lineup, but I think you guys beat them out.
레디언트의 구조물이
Just in a straight.
완성되었습니다.
I
4
think
on
if we
5.
get like a decent Omni, then we just auto win a fight, but that's the
Absolutely.
I mean, you'll see that as a big thing that comes down the line later once we have like Blink Juggernaut.
저의 하부 포탑
Like I literally say, we should only Blink Omni the sniper because that's an easy way to kill him. He's so far back, he's not gonna buy anything that really gets rid of it. I mean, you could get like Shadow Blade, but
Yeah. Your Jug's playing very passive right now as well.
like there's nothing that can kill him with a spin TP except Mono Void. So I mean, now we decide to push tier 1 bottom.
That's a good play.
다이어의 하부 포탑이 공격받고 있습니다.
I go Crimson here, but I don't know if Crimson was a good thing. Like, there's zombies, but I don't. In hindsight, I don't think I should go
다이어의
Crimson
하부
here.
포탑이 파괴되었습니다. 레디언트의 중부 포탑이
Let me
Like,
think.
the pipe's good, the Crimson would maybe be good, but
Honestly, you could probably get like a Blink or Force Staff or something like that to just get on top of the
probably gotta
sniper.
force. You can use it offensively or defensively.
Yeah.
right here,
That combo is very strong.
I try to get my carry out for that fight.
That's a good play. Honestly, there's so much good space for your Juggernaut right now. And it kind of confused me why he's not like being way more productive, but...
Yeah,
다이어의
that's
중국 포탑이
Tier 5.
pretty much how that went.
read too
how
much
that
into
game
it.
went. Yeah, he's an Archon player, I think. So. Don't ask me why we have an Archon player. I don't know.
'Cause, yeah, I can't say too much about you because Underlord, you know, you had a strong offlane. The gameplay is sort of binary, just like, am I
Yeah,
pushing
it's more
a
of, like,
lane?
That's like theory rather than gameplay for now. Like later on, it
Yeah.
gets more into gameplay. But
Your team is also definitely lacking vision. Like I sort of want to be guiding you, like what lane you should be going to, or
yeah, we
where you
get
should be
super
moving, but
outwarded this game, which makes
yeah,
me
I
think:
can't see anything.
should I buy the wards on Underlord if I'm? Should I place rather? Not necessarily buy, but
다이어의 상부
No.
공격받고
You should
있습니다.
right now you're kind of in limbo. Like you're kind of wandering between the lanes right now, and right here is sort of starting a team fight. You spend a lot of time in the jungle there. If you see what I'm saying.
yeah.
You cast like one Firestorm top and then sort of wandered back towards mid.
'Cause it's like these
if you
fights
cast
are
the
like,
Firestorm-
are we taking them? Are we not taking them? It's like it's really
Yeah. If you cast the Firestorm top on that wave right there, there'd be pressure on their tier 2 top. And then you can rotate mid and like force a fight. And then there's pressure on the tower and also on the mid tower where you're taking a fight. And right there you kind of walked around in a circle.
yeah, like trying to get in these fights without like just getting too twisted is very awkward. But like we do well that fight though. Like
공격받고
Yeah, no, you
this is
definitely do
before
well.
like their huge power spikes. But
Like right now you guys are doing pretty okay.
yeah, like my Jug got Omni at like the
다이어의
last
중국
second,
포탑이
so
공격받고 있습니다.
if he gets Omni off on the sniper, then it's a good fight.
Yeah.
다이어의
But it's hard to push into Coddle here.
Yeah. Coddle being Coddle. Jakiro should cast this thing on the tower. Liquid Fire.
So like my own Druid's kind of in, so it's like
Yeah.
don't necessarily want to abandon him, but
Your Crimson and Pipe are both off cooldown. Just by the way.
I tried to get close to Crimson or Pipe him, but after he dies, I'm just trying to rush away.
Yeah.
So go for a Vlad's. I like the item personally, but
That's okay. I think you could.
trying to boost my Druid's damage and my Jug's damage.
Yeah. I think you could be playing a little bit more with your team. Because if you just sit and kind of try and like raid boss and buff them with stuff, because you're kind of like when you skirted around mid and sort of looped around the trees, where I just mentioned that, you know, they sort of took a fight and it goes okay, and you sort of make a decent trade, but you know, maybe if you're a presence in that fight, more of a presence, I mean,
Yeah, I
then
think
your
I
end of the
should've-
trade is less.
I think I should have definitely bought like an item that can get me through a fight a little bit faster.
Oh yeah, a
rather
force
than
staff would be
waddling.
phenomenal, I think.
In hindsight, I think it's 100% the force staff game. Like I go it on Tidehunter for some reason, for some time instead of a blank, but
Yeah,
'cause in normal games where they don't have like a Coddle Dirge, it's like, oh, Underlord has plus 100 caster and you don't need a force staff.
yeah. Against
Yeah,
a sniper though,
Yeah,
it's just
yeah, because we don't really have anyone that jumps on the sniper until we have the Jug point.
right.
다이어의 상부 포탑이
He goes like
공격받고 있습니다.
Yasha and Basher on Jug for some reason.
Right here, your whole team should be here top, like pushing with you.
Yeah, I'm not necessarily sure what we're doing. Like,
Radiance on Undying.
yeah, that's super weird. But I mean, he gets away with it.
다이어의 중부 포탑이
Well, I mean, your team is kind of sitting there, like everyone's sort of unsure of what they're doing.
Well, yeah, because like my Jug's farming, I'm trying to push the wave.
의 하부 포탑이
Because we don't really have any jumps.
Yeah. At this point, I'd say you should just like.
And they like get off with Tomb, and so we kind of have to leave. Like AM's just pushing bottom, Lone Druid's
다이어의
just
중부 포탑이
in the jungle.
I'm gonna say, yeah, I think you should just be backing at this point and like deep push bot, because it's like this really ugly sort of half push going top where it's like you are pushing out the wave with Firestorm and your team just sitting there. So you should sort of, I'll say, I keep saying that your team is bad positioning, but I should make this more about you. Like you can back out there and just go bottom and deep push out the wave. And then they have like 3 heroes sitting there top, and they can't all like extract resources. Like 3 heroes are not going to farm 1 wave or 1 lane.
At this point in time, it's like my Jakiro almost has a Yules, my Dazzle has absolutely nothing. It's like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like we're trying to group up too much in some ways, but at the same time, it's like,
Well, you're juggling a fighting build and hasn't fought with you yet.
I don't know what we should have drafted him. Like, we drafted Slark the previous game, and he was scared of an anti-mage as Slark, so... I'm trying not to put him down too much because he's an Archon player, but
Yeah.
at the same time, I want to win these games.
I understand. So right there, you hear them smoke. I don't know if you notice or call or anything. Because I think you had lingering vision. Like they killed the creeps and then smoked too early. But
I at least know that most of them are off the map.
yeah. Part of that's because you have 0. You have 1 ward up in a really kind of dumb defensive spot.
I mean, at the same time, they don't really have like the best
Yeah.
ganking team. Like, a lot of it is just them waiting to like jump into us.
Yeah. I'd say this is a really risky Roche. Especially
We
with their
needed
lineup.
to-
Yeah.
Yeah, like my Jug is spinning and he's still hitting Roach. Like,
This is just a bad fight at this point.
yeah.
And yeah. Before they even came, you know, it's just like against this lineup. My God, you get caught out in the pit. That's a good kill at the very least, but they probably get Roche here.
Yeah, they can't get rid of the team.
Yeah.
다이어의 상부 포탑이
Yeah,
공격받고
this is where the game completely turns. Or it's like, how are we really supposed to fight into this? Because if you look at Coddle's items, it does not get any better for us.
파괴되었습니다.
Yeah. He had a massive streak going.
You know, like, this Undying doesn't need to hit creeps either, so it's just wild for Coddle to have a 30-ish minute refresher.
Yeah, you guys haven't been sieging enough, and that's like Underlord's just a monster at that. You could probably have been a lot more aggressive pushing out lanes. Let's say if you're playing with a lone druid, you should recognize like that the play is to push and sort of make space for, like if you have a mid lone druid, he's not going to carry the game. It's going to be your position 1. So you and lone druid should focus on like pushing and making space and getting all these towers. So that is something you could be doing a bit more aggressively, I think. Especially when you have ult up, like they can't really touch you. At this point it might be a little risky, but you know, for the past like 10-15 minutes,
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of
So
it's
do you have
just
that-
that like my farm along with like the Jugs farm are just kind of like I'm trying not to step on his toes, but I want to make sure lanes are pushed out at the same time. So I think some of it is just unfamiliarity with the person. It's like right now he's pushing out bottom, which is good, but it's like I want to make sure that I'm not the one like pushing that lane.
It
where
is
he
good.
just
A
farms
huge
the jungle.
piece of it is also the vision.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Because, you know, I'd say like you should probably try and siege mid, but there's nothing.
Like I think
You
we
know, to
just dropped
support
the
that.
ward like right by their shrine, just got instantly rewarded.
They saw it. That's why your support should carry sentries, or
공격받고 있습니다.
Yeah, my-
you know, if you make a smoke play, then their wards don't detect you and you
And my
get
low
warding.
druid was like,
from-
always make sure you drop the sentry before the obs. Because supports in this bracket sometimes drop the obs ward and then the sentry. So if they have a sentry, they instantly see that there's an obs ward there.
Right.
Whereas if you drop the sentry first, you don't know if there is or not.
Yeah, this is.
I think I maybe should have just gotten and finished the Shivas instead of going back for the
공격받고 있습니다.
3.
And honestly, it's just kind of ugly at this point. Like, just looking at their heroes, because their AM's level 19. Somehow. He doesn't even really have items. He has Battle Fury Manta. Isn't too impressive for 30 minutes, but I'm kind of impressed that he managed to get level 19.
I mean, like, this is
So
a,
he is strong.
this fight was super weird because it's like, we get the Omni on the Sniper, which is decent, like,
It's
but,
you're sitting in the back again. You're kind of skirting around.
well, because I
like,
don't want to
you
take
should
this
go
fight
in
if
there.
they have Aegis.
You should have absolutely gone in there
Well, like,
and just face tank. It's like, because you have Macropyre out. They don't have Aegis.
no, I'm
You-
saying, like, before Aegis went down, like, the Jug just went in, like,
Oh,
none of us
yeah.
told him to go in.
No, he found an opening and he took it, but you guys were all sitting like in the back, in a bad position. But right now your pipe is up. You should be using it. You know, use it a little bit late,
Yeah, so it's just a little fight.
but you have the tools to be winning this team fight. Is the thing.
레디언트의 중부 포탑이
It was really just a matter of execution there. If you and those two supports were in position when Jug jumped on that sniper, you know, to set up right when he respawns. Like if you put your root down,
I think a lot of that's, like,
On the
communication,
tombstone.
too, because like, he
Yeah.
didn't say, like, oh, I'm going on this sniper. He was just, like, went. And so,
Yeah.
like, 'cause,
I mean,
like,
that's part of it, but you can also recognize and sort of move in. Like, oh, there's this movement on the minimap, and I can see and hear the audio cues, and
And yeah, in hindsight, probably should have taken that fight.
because you can just like your entire team just died and you walked out full HP. Like you can just face tank right there, and just give your team the opening to fight.
I think sometimes,
공격받고
like, I'm not saying that's a bad fight to take. I think sometimes I'm a bit averse to taking fights that I would deem as bad.
Yeah, and sometimes it is, you know, a bad fight that you'll lose, but sometimes it's a fight that you have to take.
Yeah, I think we have to
If
take
that makes sense.
fight in hindsight.
Yeah,
Like, I didn't want
And I'm not
to take
talking
the
about-
fight, but I think, yeah, we had to take that one.
I'm not talking about just like this team fight as well, but like sometimes you can be playing a game and all four of your teammates can take this like stupid risky fight like into an Aegis high ground, and you can think it's the dumbest thing in the world, and strategically maybe it is, but your entire team's committed, and you can either get in there and make it 5-on-5, or you can get out and it's 4v5. If you understand what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It can be a dumb fight, but you can still go in and do something.
Like here they drop
good to-
everything
Yeah.
in
I don't know if you.
like at this point I'm kind of like, how are we supposed to win fights? Like besides Blink Omni the Sniper, like at this point I'm like, that's like in my mind at this time I'm like, that's our only way to win a fight.
Right here is when you should be going for a fight, because they just blew everything.
Yeah, so like we're running at him. We see Sniper, he's over there. Like we get the Blink Omni on the Sniper. This fight is great.
공격받고 있습니다.
Alright, now you should be.
레디언트의 상부 포탑이 파괴되었습니다.
Okay. Going for more.
We don't have a ton of cap.
레디언트의 상부 포탑이 공격받고
Right.
있습니다.
I mean, we get the Sniper kill. It's something. You can push off of it.
That's big. No, you could be. You know, you guys rotated top to try and catch more, but the mid lane's pushing right now, and that tier 2 tower is looking pretty juicy. And again, they just dropped everything, so that's definitely an objective you can take. Like this charge up top is like, you know, you should be pushing, but it's a little bit too late to be pushing top.
Yeah, I should have just gone mid.
Like your creep wave is so far behind, and Sniper's right about to respawn. But if you take that mid tier 2, that opens up so much of the map for you. Because now you can sort of rotate between their jungles on their side of the map. Because right now you can't.
At this point, it's just like a weird standoff. We get
Oh, that's such a good catch. You should be killing both these guys. That's so good. This is a amazing team fight opportunity. I don't know how you guys lose this if you do.
I mean, our Jug's chasing an AM, so I think that kind of, I think that's
Your team
how we-
splits.
Yeah, we split super hard, and our Jug is chasing an AM for some
And
reason.
he's diving fountain. Oh god, why would you
Yeah,
dive
that's
like
so
that against a sniper?
Yeah, like my Druid's chasing a Sniper into Fountain, my Jug is chasing an AM. Like,
Yeah.
that's like one of
Misplay by the jug.
That's like one of the 3 fights that like that's why we lost the game. The first one was the Roche fight, and that was the second one.
Cause that was such a good catch. You caught 2 supports.
Because we didn't really like lose the one where I was like, I shouldn't really take that fight. Like it wasn't great, but I don't think that fight mattered a ton. But the Roche fight definitely mattered.
You had 4 heroes die on your team.
Well, I mean, it's 4
So it
heroes
mattered.
dying, but it's not like a hero dying while diving and a hero diving while chasing
Yeah.
super far.
It makes a big impact though.
I mean, it definitely mattered. I'm just saying that didn't matter as much as the fight that we should have won or the fight that was at the
Yeah.
Roche type thing. Then there's one like coming up that super matters. At this point, I'm just like, okay, we have to blink Omni the Sniper. That's how we kill the Sniper. That's how we.
Yeah. If you were playing a sort of more comprehensive character, I'd be giving you more like personal guidance. But again, Underlord's just kind of
Yeah, like here-
binary. You just kind
Here
of
they
walk
blow
in.
the
and-
farm, and I'm just like, alright, knock out, chill. We don't have Shrine up, which is.
You know that they're rushing though, so you guys should definitely try to contest.
Yeah.
You have everything up and they don't. Okay, so they back out. Smart
Yeah,
by
like
them.
they have 0 wisps. They have Tombstone on 40-second cooldown.
You should be pushing right now, actually, trying to force a fight. Pushing that mid tier 2. Like, I see you go back to get mana, but
Yeah,
you should really be with your team.
a little.
Either setting up for a Roche or getting that tier 2. Because if your team gets jumped right now without you, they lose the fight for sure.
Yeah, I'm not sure what I'm really doing here.
It's supposed to go on a lane. It's better than nothing. It's better than like jungling. For sure. But they're setting up for Roche again, clearly. And your team's kind of split right now.
I think I'd just try to get top past the river and pushing a little bit. Because that's up. Those are fairly decent sized
I'd
waves.
tell you to drop the... Okay. Right there, I'd personally drop like a Firestorm or the pit in the Roche pit. Just if someone's in there and you catch them in the pit, like that's such a good team fight starter because they have to commit to sitting in the pit. Obviously, there's no one in there.
I don't
But,
know why we have
like-
our supports. I guess that's one of the fight.
So right now, you're distracting a sniper, which is fantastic.
Yeah, here isn't a terrible thing, but like we get the Omni Slash on a Coddle. He's already dropped Willow, so it's. I just get run down at this point because we don't have damage anymore.
Yeah.
That wasn't the fight I was talking about, but it still sucks.
Well, it was basically you were pulling the sniper's attention, but you weren't really doing too much either. And it's kind of a limitation of the hero, but it's also like their team just sort of ran at your team and killed them. And it was good that you distracted the sniper, but you weren't really in the middle of things. You were kind of in their back line and you couldn't do anything there.
Yeah, that's like another thing where it's like a force staff would have really helped there.
Yeah.
I mean, at the same
I mean,
time, it's like that's why I don't. Even though like Underlord wins lanes and he does this and that, like I try not to like rate the hero too highly because he definitely has these like definite weaknesses.
I mean, you're really strong right now. You're like a raid boss, all that armor, but
It doesn't do anything
any
if
good
my team's
if
dead.
you're not like in a if you're not positioned in a team fight properly, it doesn't really do anything. For you or for your team. Because the positioning in that team fight was, like I said, you were sort of in their backline, but you couldn't do anything to the sniper other than draw his right clicks.
Yeah.
And then it's
I mean, I don't know if I was
4v4,
like, calling
they
for
get-
the
they
blink
get an
Omni
AM.
on the sniper because we see the sniper at that fight because he's just blinking away on me.
yeah.
I
I'm
think
gonna
if we-
check your jokes items real quick. Eh.
So at this point, I'm like, all right, we can't like directly fight into them because we have Jug buyback cooldown. So if Jug dies again, the game is over pretty much.
Yeah.
And then
Their AM also has BKB right now, which is like
So, like-
you can't lock him down.
so I'm like, all right, Druid has buyback, and then my Jug like jumps in and Omni slashes in AA. Like AM's mid. They don't even have AM in this fight, and we're losing terribly.
Well, it was a 4v2 fight. Your two cores went in.
Yeah, this is the game losing fight. Because like Druid gets caught by 4 heroes and then Jug just like Omni slashes to try to save him even though Druid has buyback and Jug does not.
레디언트의 상부 포탑이 공격받고 있습니다.
Like just those types of decisions that I
레디언트의 상부 포탑이 파괴되었습니다.
I'm trying not to like rant about how others did this game because obviously
Yeah.
this is about how I can play better.
You could be like up, like tanking damage right now. You don't really need to sit behind your tower. And obviously, you can't stay there because they do a shitload of damage, but you know, you're just standing in the back, not really doing anything.
Radiant's top shrine is under attack.
'Cause, you know, if you scatter their push with a firestorm,
Radiant's top shrine has fallen.
Yeah, I think some of it is like distrust. Because if I get actually going on, I don't necessarily trust to be saved.
I don't think you even really need to trust them. I think you're underestimating
I think I need to
yourself
like
as an Underlord.
at least.
You have Pipe, you have Crimson, you have Greaves, and full stick. Like you can definitely sort of tank some damage there. And you can apply Crimson Guard to the tower. Actually, I don't know if you did that, but I missed that detail. But you know,
I don't know
again,
if
if
I
you
did or
step in
not.
front of the tower, Crimson Guard,
I think I did.
you and the tower get the buff.
I think I do on the mid racks when they push there. But
Okay, I don't think you did.
yeah, at this point I'm
But-
kind of tilted. Unfortunately. Not
Yeah.
That's not an excuse at all, but
Well, it's rough because they kind of.
it's just my mindset
At this point-
moment.
It's just your draft, sort of, the shortcomings of your draft, where Lone Druid falls off at this point.
Yeah, we wanted
so they have a
Arc
sniper
Lord
and
instead
AM.
of the Druid, but they banned the Arc last.
It's interesting, but you know, it's basically Jug versus 2 carries, and he has to, you know, limitations of the hero. He can't really itemize for both of them. If he needs a blink to
I
catch
think
the sniper,
personally here I shouldn't have ripped it back immediately until I saw
No.
heroes.
you had a catapult.
Like this is a super
too.
super big mistake by me. I'll be the first to say that. Like I should just.
It's
keep
not.
pushing.
It's not too bad because you're still applying a lot of tower pressure just with the creep wave.
I mean, I have like
You're setting up a good
plus
defense.
150 damage though, so if like we trade racks here and they have Aegis Cheese, I don't think it's necessarily
Right.
that bad.
No, you're right. It's just not necessarily awful.
Like here,
Yeah, if you
it's-
Crimson Guard your racks. Yeah.
right, it's more of that I Crimson Guard everything and the racks are just there. I don't know what my Jug ult did.
A lot of his bounces run on the Undying, it looked like.
At this point, the game
being
heavily
low.
overflow.
Well, it's just most of his ult damage just goes to. It's wasted on this Undying.
Oh yeah.
It's not going on to the sniper, it's not going on the AM. That's rough.
This game I feel like should have been pretty easy win from how the laning stage went. But,
Yeah.
like I think at 10 minutes the CS was like 67 for me to like 15 for the AM.
Yeah.
I mean they had a lot better combo I think though. Like, I'm not too big of
Yeah.
of Jakiro in this meta.
No, he.
Like he's not
Just
bad,
look
but
at the score.
there's a lot of heroes that are better for supports, I think. Like Dazzle's good.
Hero's very underwhelming right now, but it fit well into your draft. You just didn't capitalize hard enough on, you know, Lone Druid, Underlord, Jakiro. That is a draft I look at. Just looking at that draft, I am thinking push and end the game within 20 minutes, or you lose. And I
Just
think
didn't hit
most of-
timings.
yeah, most of the game came down to that draft. But I can't. It's kind of unfortunate where I can't really coach you too much, other than saying you could have positioned yourself in team fights much better. And
I mean, this isn't necessarily like a coach on, oh, here's how to play Underlord better,
yeah,
but it's more of like a, like, if my team's in this situation, what do we do?
you definitely underestimated yourself a lot, and sort of let yourself get kited, or you played scared. Because even if you commit yourself and you die and you trade yourself for like your Juggernaut killing their sniper or something like that is so worth it. And it's partially, you know, Underlord doesn't really have like a hard like team fight ability, like Tide Hunter or Enigma or Magnus, his big team fight spell is very defensive, and sort of if you're playing from ahead, like cool, you can siege and then Dark Rift back home. But if you're playing from behind, it's
Yeah, I mean, there's like Pit, but Pit doesn't do anything to zombies, and it doesn't do anything to the Wisps. So
Alright, and they can just avoid it as well. It's a pretty small. It's a very small AoE. Sniper's never gonna get caught in it unless you jump him. AM is gonna, you know, be slippery. Just again, lack of lockdown on your team. But you know, I think you could have capitalized on your mid game much better because you came out of that lane really strong and you didn't really play too aggressively or push towers, and you definitely like if you got in that tier 2 mid much sooner, that opens up the whole map for you, like warding and stuff for smoke ganks, all that stuff. Instead you like couldn't really go mid too much. You could sort of go up their steps like at the river mid, but you can't really go much further than that. Whereas, you know, on that opportunity where you push top, you could go all the way into their tier 3. But it's just not the same as like a tier 2 top that's standing. If you have the tier 2 mid, that closes off such a small part of the map for you. But the mid tier 2 it's so important. All that, you know, it gives you so many routes through the jungle, like both jungles to gank and ward and siege from.
yeah, I think
So I'd say you definitely could have pushed that better. That's that and team fight positioning. Don't be so scared.
Yeah, I think like the later team fights, I was just very confused on how to play them
Yeah.
because normally against most lineups in Underlord, you just know to face tank because you have your pipe in Crimson, but like it just feels so bad when you're moving at like 100 move speed because of zombies and shrapnel, and then you just get a what's it called, wisped every other second.
You're getting kited.
Yeah.
But your job this game isn't really to like do damage and get in their faces. It's just to kind of exist so your teammates can play around it. And if that means you get kited and just don't even do anything in a team fight, so be it. I think it came down to not capitalizing on the mid game though. Like your team in general, not just you. Like your Jug went a fight build and didn't fight. Your lone druid didn't really push. Just looking at the post game scores, your Dazzle died 19 times.
And that was
somehow. It's actually kind of impressive, and that you know that hurts your whole team. Because he doesn't have any items. He has arcane boots and a cloak. Because he dies and gives away all his gold so much.
I think it might have been better if they just tri-laned off the bat to give Jug a better start, because like Jug Dazzle lost pretty hard to like Undying.
Oh, absolutely. You could have, and you can say that too, is like you were set up in lane from like level 4, and you can just be like, all right, I don't need you here. Jakiro,
well, like the Jakiro tried to like go mid a little bit because their Coddle kind of rotated, but I feel like that might have just been too late. Because at the time that I'm like level 4, I don't necessarily have a good grasp on whether this AM is good or not. And obviously you want to try to keep an AM down. I mean, the AM's build was good, but he ended up with the most GPM. But I do not feel like he was why we lost that game.
No.
Because at 20 minutes, he did not have Battle Fury.
Really, none of them on the other team really stood out to me at all that game.
I mean, like, it was just
Undying was really surprisingly tanky, but
like the huge clump of like Undying, Tombstone with Wisp, with Shrapnel, Sniper plinking on everybody. Like my team was not prepared at all to fight into that.
No, well, it's unfortunate because your Juggernaut needs a blink to gap close on the Sniper, but then he's lacking damage for for team fight for AM. Really, he can blink and try and kill sniper, and then okay, he dies to AM because he doesn't really have anything. But
Yeah, this is right after I have a 75-minute RD2 game where I'm against Coddle Underlord.
So yeah, I think you could have definitely made a lot more of an impact on the mid game, and that's what I'll say to you. Is like you could have improved, or you can improve in that regard.
Yeah, I think like my laning is pretty strong. I mean, obviously it's a good matchup, Underlord versus Anti-Mage, but
I mean, it's just an underlord lane in general, which is just like press Q on creep wave. But you know, I mean, if you're a good laner, that's good. But definitely you could have been more aggressive in the mid game, and I think I mentioned briefly how you sort of wandered in the jungle. Excuse me, that was my nose being stuffed up. You sort of wandered through the jungle a little bit, and that just kind of wastes time. Like you should constantly be trying to, and this is just Dota in general, like whatever position you're playing, you should constantly be trying to do something. Like you're either, and I'd say for you that game, at like 10-15 minutes, it should go like in this priority of like push waves or push towers, team fight, farm waves, farm jungle. So you should constantly be pushing, and if team fight happens, show up for it, and if not, just farm creep waves. And if you can't even do that, then just do a jungle camp. And
yeah,
it's really, you know, it's something that you sort of, it just comes with time. Like you sort of understand, like you see the mini map and you see these openings and you're like, okay, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. Comes with experience. But if you consciously start thinking like, what should I be doing right now? Should I be going top, going mid, whatever, and you have to commit to it, because there was one point I recall where you sort of got caught between top and mid. Actually, right before that team fight where you sort of walked around the trees in the mid lane, if you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
You walked like from their tier 2 around to where their tier 1 is and walked in a giant circle. Like right before that, you sort of were indecisive, and that sort of, you didn't really come to the team fight on time. I guess you weren't really at the front of it like an Underlord wants to be, and then you just kind of got caught in a loop because of that, I think. But if you're playing in a team, especially in like a battle cup scenario where everyone wants to win, it's very coordinated. If you have a stack for that, you know, it's really easy to get on mic and talk to them and get them to follow you. You just have to be confident on a hero like Underlord in that game and just sort of get in their faces. And
like towards the end, I think I tried, but it was too little, too late.
right,
So at that
you
point,
have plenty
we
of
had,
opportunities.
Like, 10 wards dewarded already, and we had, I don't know. One of the big things I tried to force was like the Jug Blink Omni on the sniper.
Yeah.
And then like there were 3 fights where he just didn't. So
아이어의 상부 포탑이 공격받고 있습니다.
Yeah. Definitely a winnable game, I would say. None of the, they had a pretty brutal team fight combo.
공격받고 있습니다.
yeah,
But-
I think like the early death, especially top with the Undying rotation, kind of spooked me way more than it should have. In terms of like how vulnerable I am. Which, I mean, that's literally just like an Undying running at me for a minute straight, so that sort of situation is a bit unobtainable in a fight.
Yeah.
아이어의
I think I kind of
공격받고 있습니다.
got a bit too spooked by that.
But yeah, I'd give you more personal like advice, but
다이어의 상부
I keep
포탑이
saying it.
공격받고
But it's
있습니다.
just, you know, Underlord is very, very, very binary. Like is I'd say he's probably like the most straightforward hero in the game, where it's just kind of like walk at things, press Q.
Yeah, like in a lot of my
Right.
other games, I think I do better on the hero. Like I've had even an RD2L mini game where it's just like 25 minutes. Like we have some Underlord, Venomancer, Death Prophet lineup.
Yeah.
Super gross. But I saw you signed up for RD2L.
Yeah.
Some people
People have
were
been
talking
begging
about
me to
like your
join.
player statement.
My player statement?
Yeah.
Is that good or bad?
Well, they were just saying like how straightforward it was.
I didn't really know what to put there because first time signing up, but I don't know. I just kind of assumed that people who have been in the thing for a while just put like, haha, anime, yeah, clap or
I
something.
mean, I put that I'm a boosted
twist
ancient
shit.
player, so
Yeah, exactly.
try
Exactly.
to push me a bit further down. Alright, I tabbed back into the game at 17 minutes and I just saw Jug solo Omni and Anti-Mage with the full creep wave next to him. Alright, that's enough for this game, probably.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to bed, I think, because I feel like ass.
Yeah, there's a lot of players for the RD2L EST Sunday for next season. Like, I
Yeah?
think this season there were like 34 teams, which is like 34 captains and 170 players. And like right now we're at 23 captains and 216 players.
Wow.
I mean, it's probably going to be closer to like 200 because there's people that don't have enough games, people that are banned but still try to sign up. And obviously there's going to be a lot more captains that are like veteran people that are kind of asked to captain and will. But still,
Right.
that's a lot of players. And this is before the Purge stream for the finals too.
No, that's true. I hope I get on a good team, but we'll see when we get there.
I mean, probably you're what, like Divine 3, Divine 2?
Yeah. Divine 3. 5k MMR.
Can you put that you're a core player or just an overall player?
I usually play 4 actually, but I'm actually very strong on core.
I mean, you'll probably get drafted like at the worst early second round, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe
just,
like
like-
mid-second if everybody just like is like, oh, stay away from this guy.
Yeah, I just like
Do you know a lot of people in there? Or?
I do. I haven't played in a league, but I've played like pubs with a lot of them.
Who was it?
Matteo.
Oh, he's the head guy.
Yeah. Logical. Shoshin. Fat Sloth, like a whole bunch of them, honestly.
I just played an RD12 mini series with Shoshin stand-in. It's a pretty funny guy.
Yeah.
His OD very good.
Yeah.
His
Used to
Marana
spam
not
it.
very good.
He's a funny guy because he just loves to farm. Like he'll just AFK farm all
He was like he was standing in for our mid player in mini. Like I'm in the worst mini division. Like
Yeah.
my team has a bunch of ancients, but we're against like legends and archons half the games. So like he was standing in for us for our mid player, and our mid player always gets sacked. Like normally I play off lane and I get a good matchup, and our safe laner gets whatever hero he wants. So like the first game, like we last pick or fourth pick OD, and we just get Pugnud or something. I think it was a Pugna. Let me check real quick. No, we get Skywrath, not Pugnud. So it's OD versus Skywrath mid.
Yikes.
But he actually doesn't like lose lane that hard, and he just gets a Midas. It's like
Not a terrible matchup in like the mid game, but
he ended up doing really well. We had like a safe lane Timber, so it was pretty funny. Then they like dodged. They had the Luna against Timbersaw, and then they had Bristleback against Tidehunter. But Bristleback doesn't
that's
really.
still not a very good dodge.
Yeah, Bristle doesn't really do anything against Tide.
No. And Luna just gets feasted on by Tidehunter.
I
Or
always
not
get
fucking Timbersaw.
I always get these dodges. Like game 3 was the same thing. Game 3 had a dodge where I was playing Tide again. Like this was a team that, like they had an ancient offlaner who literally just like spammed Tide to ancient. So game 1 we first picked Tide. Second game we banned Tide third, and like first phase third ban, and then the third game we first pick it again. I don't necessarily even like Tide that much, but
He's pretty good.
if the enemy offlaner can only play Tidehunter at a high level, and we don't have to waste a ban on it. Yeah, the third game, they dodged a PA into a Viper Bane. They dodged
Sounds
a
gross.
Tidehunter Windranger lane for PA into a Viper Bane.
Sounds like AIDS.
Yeah.
I'd kill myself.
And meanwhile, I had an Enchantress against Tidehunter, which is not that good for Tide, but at the same time, it's an Enchantress.
Yeah.
I don't know why these people just don't pick Lone Druid against Tide. That's a very good matchup, I think, for Lone Druid.
Then you have to play Lone Druid for a game.
Yeah, that hero owns now. I mean, a bit less now, but
Lone Druid? I mean, it was good when the patch first dropped, and then they just fucking slaughtered him.
I mean, he's not like great now, but I think he's still decent as like a laning type hero. Because I mean, against Tidehunter, unless you have like a Monkey King type hero, I keep getting like Voids and PAs picked against Tidehunter. Like, what are you guys doing? I know PA is a super strong hero, but yeah, that's how that somehow went. That was a
I'm
very.
just hoping I get a like normal team.
I mean, it's since there's gonna be like 40 teams, it's actually crazy. Like I'm trying
Yeah.
to de-boost myself as much as possible, saying like I'm a party ancient. My MMR is 2.9k solo, which it is on this account.
Alright.
Because, I mean, I'd rather be, like, late third, early fourth, and go to a decent team than be, like, early to mid third, which I don't think I will be even now. Because, like, there's a lot of players. So, like,
Alright.
right now at the start of the round 3 is, like, Ancient 5. So, I mean, I guess it... Since a lot of the people that you know are, like, EST Monday, then you might drop a little bit.
I'm okay with that.
Oh, yeah. Like, if you get on a team with, like, 2 other Divine players or a high Ancient and an Immortal player...
I still want Ancients. That's all I want.
I mean, you'll
Ancients.
have some Ancients.
The only reason I signed up for it is because I was so sick of fucking pubs. It's so
Yeah, it's-
pissed off playing
It's really
ranked.
good. Like, the games are good themselves, but it's also really good to, like, build up your, like, friends list.
Yeah.
Then
like
you
this.
have people that are like, oh, hey, this guy's pretty good, or, oh, hey, I stood in for that guy's team one time, and so they invite you to a stack, and then get to play with a bunch of other players who are similar and very...
Yeah.
And then if you're, like, high, divine, immortal, sometimes, like, it's not a way to get, like, noticed, but... Like, my captain last season, he joined RD2L as, like, a divine 1 support player. And, like, his first season, they got to the grand finals with the whole thing. Then, like, his second season, when I was on a team with him, we missed the playoffs. And now he's, like, an immortal support player, so he's super anti-value. Because, I mean, are you going to draft a Divine 2 mid or a support core player? Or a support immortal player? And then get, like, a...
Support.
Then, like, get an Ancient 2 core player.
Yeah. Let's see.
He's not that... I mean, he's not bad at core, but he's not an immortal core type player. I mean, he'll still be first rounded, but he'll be put, like, off lane.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, like, he started playing the league a few seasons ago, and now he's, like, casting for NADCL. and like his contacts are like really huge within the league. Like he's a community monitor for the Discord server. I mean, obviously he's a very outgoing and outspoken individual, but even someone who's not can still get some people on their friends list to like play Frosthaven with or just play pubs with. So I mean, Potus isn't bad for that sort of thing, but it's very like outside of TA and yourself, there really aren't that many like decent MMR players.
No.
Like
It's kind of weird.
NGO banned half of them, and so
And then Electro left.
yeah, like Electra left. I don't know if you remember Forrest, who was in here before.
The name is familiar, but I don't really remember though.
Yeah, Forrest played RG2 last season, and then like if you remember Griffin Wing or Dad,
Yeah.
he was one of
It's
Forrest's teammates. And then like
He was a fucking shitbag though.
yeah, pretty much. Yeah, like Nervous is ancient. I'm party ancient. Like there aren't a ton of great players. Like Lizard is party legend player, so yeah, having like higher up players to stack with is definitely very good to have, and it's sometimes hard to find those in pubs.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to it. I don't know. Yeah. I like I said, I just want a break from pubs. I want like a coordinated, competitive environment where I can grow as a player. Really, I feel like I've hit like kind of a wall. I don't know if it's just my own skill. I feel like it's not my own skill, and if I'm being honest with myself, when I think on how I play, but you know, you never know. Maybe it'll awaken like.
I mean, a lot of it is also like mentality and grinding and whatnot too.
I think my mentality is my strongest point, if I'm being honest.
Like, not everyone is TA to where he used to be 6k and then he just goes from Ancient 5 to Immortal, just grinds it out.
Yeah. But I've been a competitive like sport player my entire life, so I know how things work on a team and
Yeah, it's
how you gotta do that shit.
there's a decent chance that it'll be at least like, even if you get to a really bad team, at least like you can joke about your bad team with everyone.
Yeah.
I don't know. I played it for the first time like 3 years ago and got on like when it was a lot worse. Like back then there were like 8 to 9 players to a team or something, and it was a snake draft.
Oh god.
Like right now it uses an EU draft where at the end of each round, like lowest medal drafts first, and then obviously Immortals draft last. But after the
Yeah.
first round, the medals and also like the adjusted medals get put into a system, and then whoever has the lowest average drafts first the next round, instead of it just being a snake draft, because snake drafts are really bad.
Yeah.
I mean, the same type of thing could be said for just fixed drafts, where it's the worst captain always drafts first and the best captain always drafts last. It's hard to quantify that sometimes too for that. Yeah, so my first season, it was just a snake draft. So the best captain got like picks at the time, there were like 15 teams. So he got picked 15 and 16. And he was like 5,500 MMR. And he drafted like 2k players, but that's not the point. The point is that there were so many players per team, and now there's a rule where if all your players are there, you have to sub out a player for your sixth player to play one game in a series.
Nah, that makes sense. I like that rule.
But back then there wasn't. So if your captain was like, "Oh, these 5 players are playing," you couldn't do anything about it.
Yeah, I see why. Makes sense.
So I mean, yeah.
Alright.
But yeah, I'm getting to the end of it, so you can go to sleep.
Alright.
So anyways,
I can
like the
go.
team does well, but then like we make the playoffs, and then the first week of playoffs, like my entire team just ditches. Like nobody shows up. We have like 3 players for our first round series, so I have to like go into Discord and be like, by the way, this team is forfeiting. Like I'm not even the cap. I wasn't even the captain, so that put a really sour taste in my mouth for RD2L at the time.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, all this and my team just gives up. No, it's gotten a lot better since then. I mean, some people post way too much anime stuff, but I mean, it can be avoided for the most part. It's not worse than POTUS, that's for sure. Rather deal with weebs than furries, honestly.
I don't want that. I can at least jerk off to furries. Whoops. Never. Just kidding. I
It's fine.
watch anime. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm sure it'll go well, though.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, even if you get put on a crappy team, at least you'll be able to
As
joke
long as I
about
don't
it.
get some like toxic asshole, I don't care. I don't care if we lose every single game, as long as it's not like some fucking prick is like.
It's actually so hard to lose every game. Because it goes by a system of like winners play winners and losers play losers.
Yeah.
Like my team was 1-5, and so we played like another 1-5 team. And we destroyed them because that team was a lot worse than us. But that also lowers your strength of schedule. Which is like how, like all the teams you face, like all of their wins get put into your strength of schedule.
Yeah.
So if like come playoff time there's like tiebreakers, then guess what? If you started 0-8 and then you're 8-8 by beating all the bad teams, you might not get in. Your strength of schedule will probably be like 40.
Okay. I'm gonna go to bed. I ran out of water and my throat is on a timer to death now.
Alright, that's fine. Thanks for the coach.
Yeah, no problem. I'll do another one sometime if you want that isn't Underlord, maybe, and I can actually like get in depth.
Yeah, I didn't necessarily like want to necessarily do that game, but a lot of my other games, there are a lot more flaws that I can see.
Well, because I don't know. Underlord gameplay is just.
You should stream
walk
the
it,
Kino
thing you
video
can
again
kill.
tomorrow.
Oh god. I hated watching that.
Yeah.
Really.
That
gross.
kid is a character.
Yo, that's an understatement.
I say
He's
kid
fucking
because he's
insane.
probably not like older than 15, but
That's a reasonable statement, actually. That would explain why he is the way he is.
I mean he could be like 19, but I want to give him the benefit of the doubt at least.
Alright. I'm gonna go for real now. I've said it like 5 times. This is how I exist in voice channels. I say I'm gonna leave and then never leave.
Ah, nah,
Good
that's
night.
fine. I got everything out. Alright,
Alright.
later.